You guys seem to really enjoy my last video, and before I start this video I want to say I'm very sorry about my voice. I have been ill for the past couple of days, so I will sound completely dead. But anyway, thank you so much for watching the last video. It did so well and it's boosted my confidence so much to be able to make these videos and bring them out to you. So I'll have some ending remarks at the end of the video, so let's get into it, to Warhammer 40K Boltgun. So let's get on to the story of Boltgun. Well, this takes place several years after the story of Space Marine. So you're back on Gaia, but all the orcs have sort of left, and what is left is basically just the chaos, and they're still holding up the power source that you were fighting for at the end of Space Marine. And there are cutscenes in the game, but they're not a lot of them. The game only has about 3 chapters, with one DLC chapter, which I didn't go into through my main playthrough, but I didn't mind having not a lot of story. Again, it has the same pull to pull people into the Warhammer universe, and I think it does its job. It gets you really riled up to play through this. You have a mission, and that's your mission. You fight through the chaos, kill the heretics, and basically try and save this planet again. And overall, I really did enjoy the way it was also shown. The retro-inspired cutscenes looked really cool, and the voice acting, even though there was not a lot of it, is really good. And the personality of the Space Marine you play as, who is an Ultramarine, has a quite unique personality. Well, unique, he's a Space Marine, so a lot of it is just burn heretics, but he doesn't actually speak much in the story, only through the taunt button, which is actually a really cool moment where you can just taunt your enemies after you've killed them and made them into a meat paste across the wall and across the floor. But overall, it was a fun, interesting story of you trying to stop the chaos from taking over again and closing a warp field. And I will go back in probably to finish off the DLC, which I believe continues the story, and you're just basically taking out the last of the chaos forces that have been left on the planet after the boss fight and at the end. As you can see, the game looks really good. It has that classic feel of like a Doom / Wolfenstein looking era game. The pixel graphics look actually really nice. I love how the enemies look, and also your weapons and effects, especially when you kill somebody and they're just bodies left on the floor. You can also shoot those dead bodies for blood to squirt out and sort of paint the room a little bit. It's a really interesting look for a shooter, and we don't get those style of shooters in main AAA setting. It's a lot of the time it has to be high quality and all this stuff, and it's nice to see something like this and actually have a fun look to it. You can tell the people who made this had so much fun and knowledge of the universe and love and passion. You can see it throughout the game, especially with how the buildings look and the scenarios and the levels and the enemies. I think they took models of the enemies and actually digitally made them into like 2D things, and it's such a unique art style that I really didn't mind seeing a lot of the same enemies across the game, because they were so fun to watch. Some of them didn't look very good close up, but at distance they did look very nice to see, and I hope that we get another Boltgun in this style. I know with Space Marine 2 coming out and the graphics look amazing with that and the amount of enemies, I wouldn't be sad or disappointed to see another Warhammer retro style game. It's also a lot different to the last game that came out before this, which I believe was Hired Gun, which was very high in its graphics. Oh, and Darktide, and their big push was the graphics. I like simpler. If the game's fun and the graphics are simple, it works for its betterment. So let's go into the main point of this game, the combat and weapons. Let's just say this game feels awesome to play. The speed of your Space Marine as you jump around these levels, dodging bullets, it does feel like a bullet hell. And your weapons, my favourite weapon at the moment had been the heavy bolter. The impact that you felt shooting it felt like a giant chain gun. I also really enjoyed the gravity cannon, which just disintegrated most enemies, and it was so much fun. I don't think there was a weapon in the game that I did not enjoy. Most of the weapons, no, all the weapons were fun to shoot, and that is a testament to how well built and well knitted this game is. Your main weapon, the Boltgun, had such a satisfying rate of fire. They didn't give you a pistol in this game, which I think is because it would have slowed down the game quite a lot, and I think this game needed a lot of speed, and it works for the game. The Boltgun was satisfying, the shotgun just amazing to mop up enemies, the plasma rifle had a really unique mechanic with the overheating, the heavy bolter, like I said, felt like a chain gun and really chunky and satisfying. The melter gun was just a more powerful shotgun that just disintegrated enemies, like it just disintegrated them. The plasma rifle, not the plasma rifle, the gravity gun, again, like I said, it was like the BFG in Doom. It's so good and so fun to play through. Even the melee weapon, which allowed you to basically chain your hits, as it is the chain sword. I think I'm missing a weapon. I don't know off the top of my head, but those are the weapons that I really love. And one of the cool things, because it's like a boomer shooter, you had to actually, when you restarted a level, you had to go and find your weapons. So it made you use different combinations of weapons, which I think helped allow you to sort of get used to all weapons. So every weapon got used. You do find in some games that your weapons sort of get less useful, and you focus on weapons you think are going to be more helpful, and you get nice. I can't remember the name of it, but there's like a terminology for people who terminology in game design. But that felt nice that I got a full range of my weapons. The problems I did have with this game, because it's not perfect, one of the problems I did find was I did get lost a few times, and I think that's just a way of the game. I do think there should have been a little bit more focus, not focus, what's the word, help with trying to locate which way to go. There are moments where I'm literally just trying to figure out where I'm going, and I know that's like part of the genre of like the level design having to be very maze-like, and it works in the context of these places are big, you're going to get lost. But for the time I spent just walking, I did get bored a little bit with just trying to figure out where I'm going, and I do think the servitor that you had could have helped a little bit. You know, if you're going the wrong way for a certain amount of distance and not actually keep going in the right direction, it just tells you. It kind of just felt like it was being a little bit useless, or if it did, I didn't notice it. But overall, there is not much criticism I can say with the game. I really did enjoy this. The boss fights that we had were actually kind of fun. Yeah, they were repeating a few times, the Lord of Contagion and the big fat dude. Yeah, it was kind of annoying to replay those guys again, but at least they were boss fights, not like in Space Marine where it's a fucking cutscene. And I did like the fact that the last boss, I believe you were fighting the guy from Space Marine, the Chaos dude, Deimos I think his name was. That was really cool to see, really cool to fight again. Again, I didn't really focus on the story, I just kept playing, and yeah. You could probably cut that as like a criticism that the story didn't take a big point in it, but I don't think that's what this game was trying to be. I think this game was just trying to be a fun shooter, which it succeeded at. If you're going to pick up this game, go pick up this game. If you're a fan of Warhammer, definitely go pick it up. It'll give you something to play till Space Marine 2 comes out, because you have to go and try and, if it's up to you, you can go try and find the secrets and complete the levels, because it does rank you on your level, so definitely gives you plenty of time. I completed the game in around about 8 to 10 hours, and I think I probably could have got another 5 hours out of it, and it's a pretty cheap game. You can pick it up for about a tenner to 20 quid. I definitely think it's worth the money. Another thing, if you're a fan of shooters, I definitely think you should go and pick it up. You'll really enjoy this, especially if you're a fan of Doom and you've not given this a go because of the IP. I say don't worry about the IP, just play it and you'll have a brand new shooter to play and you'll really enjoy it. People who won't like it is boring people. If you don't like playing this type of game, you're boring. Go away. Don't even bother. Nah, seriously, give it a chance. And I generally think you will enjoy this game as much as I did. If I was to rank this on my top 100, it would definitely be in the top 50. I think depends if Black Myth Wukong is pretty good or Space Marine is pretty good. So we'll see. Hey. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. As you can tell, I'm a little bit blocked up and been suffering for a cold, and this game was the perfect sort of, I can just sit and relax and play through it. But like I said, thank you so much for the support of the last video. It has blown up really, it's not blown up like stupid amount, but it's one of my most watched videos, and when I saw the views when I've been recording this, I kind of cried a little. I was so happy that it's done as well as it has, and it's given me the confidence to keep making these videos, because I will make these videos and I will focus on my craft to make these better, to get these videos out to you, to make them as best as they can. I'm not really going to be focusing on a specific genre. It just so happens to be that the first 2 games I do this are Warhammer games, but I do want to expand to like RPGs and stuff like that. If there's any games that you guys want to see, I will put them in the description and I will look through, comments, and I might get around to them. I really want ideas for games. And hopefully my laptop doesn't die on it, because this morning it had a bit of a cry. Yeah, I really am scared of this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I don't really like asking people to do that, but if it means I get more viewers and more people, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and ta-ra.